It's a fight for me, man. It's a fight for me, man. That is like is a dream fight just because I ain't never fight in Puerto Rico. I live in Puerto Rico half the year. I got a house out there, so I'm always in Puerto Rico.
Veteran fighter Gabriel Rosado has expressed enthusiasm about the possibility of stepping into the ring with Edgar Berlanga, a former super middleweight world title challenger, in a high-profile bout set for next year in Puerto Rico. Berlanga, a Brooklyn native of Puerto Rican descent, and Rosado, who shares the same heritage, are slated to headline a Matchroom Boxing promoted event on DAZN, bringing their talents back to the island. Rosado, a seasoned professional with 19 years of experience, is looking to reignite his career after a prolonged slump. His last victory came on June 2021, when he delivered a stunning third-round knockout against Bakhram Murtazaliev. Since then, Rosado has struggled to add another win to his record.
I'm telling you, bro, that shit would put a different battery in my back, bro. If I'm out there and I get the fight out there, bro, and you know, you got the legends like Cotto and Tito and Samantha Serrano out there, you know what I'm saying? It's where it's just so good for the sport. And you know, Puerto Rican boxing is getting back on the map because you got so many great talent right now.
Meanwhile, Berlanga suffered the first defeat of his career on September 14th in Las Vegas, where he faced unified super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. Despite a lopsided contest, Berlanga showcased his resilience and size advantage, rehydrating to an impressive 193 pounds after the weigh-in at 167 3/4 pounds, a staggering 25 pounds gain. Canelo dropped Berlanga in the third round, but appeared to ease up afterward, opting not to pursue the knockout. Some critics believe Canelo deliberately carried Berlanga, avoiding a brutal finish to escape further scrutiny for choosing the less experienced fighter over other top contenders like David Benavidez and David Morrell.
You know, and then you got Berlanga, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the vet, Gabe Rosado, man. So it's like, yo, to put us in PR, man, I think you know, the island will love it, man. You know, and it'd be two Boricuas from the States that then come back to Puerto Rico, man, and I think it'd be history. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a dope event. Here's the thing, man. Look, when I'm in Puerto Rico, there's really no difference than being in Puerto Rico and being in Philly.
While fans on the East Coast may appreciate the matchup with Rosado, broader boxing audiences are less convinced. Berlanga is being urged to face younger, more competitive opponents. Rosado, at 38 and with 17 career defeats, is widely seen as a journeyman, leading many to question the legitimacy of this fight. Berlanga's critics argue that he has been marketed as a hometown hero primarily to sell tickets in New York, rather than being tested against elite competition. Potential opponents like Osleys Iglesias, Caleb Plant, Christian Billy, Diego Pacheco, Eric Bazinian, or Bruno Suarez are being floated as more compelling matchups for Berlanga. However, Matchroom Boxing may see Rosado as the safer option for Berlanga to secure a win before targeting bigger names. Berlanga has already hinted at plans to face Jaime Munguia as a stepping stone toward a rematch, with Canelo Alvarez a goal that might require more than a victory over Rosado and Munguia to achieve. Financially, Berlanga has strong incentives to chase a rematch. His fight with Canelo reportedly generated 650,000 pay-per-view buys, netting him a $3 million purse and additional earnings from the event's success. Still, to win back fans' confidence and climb the ranks, Berlanga may need to take greater risks against top 15 contenders. For now, the proposed clash with Rosado promises entertainment, if not high stakes, for boxing fans in Puerto Rico. Whether it will propel Berlanga closer to the sports elite remains to be seen.
People look at him and think, you can walk him down, you can beat him up, he's soft to the body, he doesn't punch that hard. I don't think people have this fear of getting in there with him. A lot of the heavyweights are like, obviously Fury thought he could beat him. We thought we could beat him, and AJ thought we could beat him. We thought we could beat him in a rematch. Fury thought he could beat him in a rematch. Bellew thought he could beat him. I'm sure Dubois felt like they could walk him down and beat him. And no one does it.
Eddie Hearn, the high-profile promoter, is lobbying for his fighter, IBF Cruiserweight champion Jai Opetaia, to face the unified heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk in a bid for the WBA, WBC, and WBO world titles. While an ambitious move, this proposition raises eyebrows and stirs controversy among boxing purists.
The only fight that I see, I mean, I love Opetaia against Usyk. I just think it's such a good style matchup, you know. But Jai's got to earn his stripes as well for that fight. He's got to win next week, and then he's got to probably unify against Ramirez. And then when he steps up, or you know, he's going to be able to compete weight-wise. It's a great fight, but he's got to continue to build his profile. But I don't see a lot of fights that genuinely excite me.
The idea of Opetaia stepping into the ring with Usyk, bypassing the top heavyweight contenders, is widely viewed as a blatant disregard for the integrity of the sport. Critics argue it would be unjust to fighters like Martin Bakole, Ajit Cabale, and Joseph Parker, who have earned their spots in line through hard-fought battles, allowing Opetaia to skip the queue for a shot at Usyk's heavyweight crown sends the wrong message to aspiring contenders and fans alike. It's not about merit but money. Opetaia, currently undefeated with a record of 26-0, 20 knockouts, is seemingly Hearn's best option for now. However, the Australian cruiserweight has yet to prove himself against top-tier heavyweights. His most notable victory, a decision win over Maurice Briedis, was far from convincing. In that bout, Opetaia appeared to falter under pressure, retreating and looking visibly shaken when the 39-year-old Briedis turned up the heat in the later rounds. Such performances cast doubt on Opetaia's readiness to face a relentless and technically brilliant champion like Usyk. If Hearn is serious about positioning Opetaia as a legitimate heavyweight contender, the path is clear. Opetaia needs to earn his shot. A gauntlet of heavyweight tests against the likes of Martin Bakole, Daniel Dubois, Bakhram Murtazaliev, and Ajit Cabale would silence critics and solidify his credentials. Only after conquering these challengers should Opetaia be considered for a crack at Usyk's titles.
And looking forward to a massive fight for Australian boxing. Really stumbled on a gem there with Opetaia Naika. David Naika just stepped up with a massive set of nuts and went, I'll have it. And this was a fight that we actually envisaged happening in a year's time as a massive fight for Australian boxing. But I think now Opetaia against Naika, Australia against New Zealand.
In the meantime, Opetaia is set to defend his IBF Cruiserweight belt against David Nika on January 8th at the Gold Coast Convention Centre in Queensland, Australia. Nika, a late replacement for the injured Hussein Sinkera, presents a modest challenge, but it's unlikely to quell doubts about Opetaia's ability to step up to the heavyweight stage. The bout will be streamed live on DAZN, offering fans a glimpse of Opetaia's form as the debate over his future continues. Jermell Charlo is stepping back into the spotlight after a prolonged 15-month absence from the ring. The former undisputed junior middleweight champion is calling on premier boxing champions to line up the best competition they have at 154 pounds for his much-anticipated return. However, the reality is that PBC's roster doesn't offer many compelling options to challenge Charlo at this stage. Charlo's message, "Make it make sense," is widely interpreted as a demand for a lucrative fight to reignite his career. Yet, those blockbuster opportunities may already be behind him. Reports suggest Charlo is seeking a payout substantial enough to rival the wealth of a Beverly Hills mansion. But unless Saudi promoter Turki Alashik takes an interest in staging a fight featuring Charlo, potentially against Ukrainian knockout artist Serhiy Bovachuk, such aspirations might remain out of reach. A clash with Bovachuk would undoubtedly intrigue fans, but the chances of it happening seem slim. The timing also seems to have passed for a showdown with Terence Crawford. The undefeated welterweight champion has bigger ambitions and little patience for a fighter who's been inactive for over a year. Crawford is unlikely to waste time on someone whose stock has plummeted due to a lackluster performance and extended inactivity. Charlo's lack of urgency since his September 2023 defeat to Canelo Alvarez has only deepened doubts about his dedication. His tepid showing in that fight, where he seemed content to avoid risks rather than pursue victory, left a sour taste for many fans. The rumored $20 million payday he pocketed in that bout could explain his extended hiatus, as he's yet to show signs of hunger for redemption. One potential option for Charlo is newly crowned IBF junior middleweight champion Bakhram Murtazaliev. A matchup with Murtazaliev offers a clear pathway back to world title contention. However, history suggests this pairing is unlikely. Charlo previously showed no interest in facing Murtazaliev when he was the IBF mandatory challenger, so there's little reason to believe his stance has changed. For Charlo, accepting such a fight would be a bold move. Murtazaliev recently dismantled former WBO junior middleweight champion Tim Tszyu with a devastating third-round knockout on October 19th, dropping the Australian star 4 times in the process. If Murtazaliev could overwhelm a sharp and active Tszyu, the prospects for a ring young Rusty and aging Charlo are far less encouraging. Despite the challenges ahead, Charlo remains vocal about his intentions. Premier Boxing, give me the best you got, or whoever you think can handle me at 154. Let the fans choose. Lions only. Make it make sense, he proclaimed on social media. Charlo's words signal ambition, but actions will speak louder. Whether he can restore his reputation and prove he's still a force in the division is a question only the ring can answer. The clock is ticking for the 34-year-old to make his move before his career risks fading into obscurity. Subscribe. Please like and comment. This is very important for the development of the channel. See you later.